would absolutely love musicals and plays. Which is also 100% not true. They are a titan of extraordinary cosmic power. But I'm going to say it's real for the sake of it.
Yeah, I think we get to think is Allure as an actor girly or a crew girly.
Oh, what?
A cast or crew.
That is a good question. I think Aloris would definitely belt Defying Gravity.
If the Titans were high school stereotypes, what would they be?
This question has actually, unfortunately, been asked multiple times.
What?
So I can give you half of an answer, I guess.
Well, you mean like only half of an answer?
Well, because high school stereotypes was not one I've heard before, but what's it called? Sinaquis is like the wine aunt who smokes a lot of cigarettes and is cranky.
Oh. Yeah. Sounds right.
I can't even remember what Apophis was. I mean, Aloris is an interesting one for me. Absent. I want to say absent father, but I know more about the character than everybody else does, except for Zach, of course. I say character, being, concept. So, I don't think that's entirely true, but...
I was gonna say, out of all the Titans, if they were to be like a absent father, it would be Gunterra.
It would be Gunterra. It would absolutely be. I personally think it would be Tenignus. I feel like Gunterra would actually be quite a present figure in someone's family.
Absent father as in not around, or absent father because they're too high? Like, what kind of absent are we talking about?
Oh
my god, y'all! I'm planning my like schedule for a convention that I'm going to in a couple weeks. It's a furry convention, and I'm looking at the schedule, and I just see Nick Cage trivia.
My homies can't know I love Nick Cage.
Ooh, Skyrim trivia. That's fun. Ooh, the Constitution, Law, and You.
Alrighty.
Love that.
She fruits my road, Glada.
We are live, by the way.
Oh.
Yippee. I also just realized that the fighting style on my D&D sheet I can use.
Yeah. Is any music playing that shouldn't be?
Don't think so.
Wonderful.
I play the sound off most times, so I'm a bad person to ask.
In that case, we'll do this one for now.
Which, if you want to put it there, I chose Interception, by the way.
Lovely.
Oh, there's 2 songs. Oh, there's 4 songs playing for me.
Oh, let's fix that.
Oh.
Cool.
I'm gonna play all of them.
But you're fighting stuff. That violence developed.
Every time one turns off, another one turns on. Oh. Okay, it's just choir ensemble. Okay, now they're all off. Okay.
I'll fix that in a moment. Unfortunately...
That was terrifying.
Google... Yeah, I apologize for that. Unfortunately, my Google has had a very bizarre tendency as of late to... Is just choir ensemble playing?
Yes.
Wonderful. My Google has had a tendency to make the half of the screen unloadable. And it's always the top half, so I can't see what's wrong. It's been very bizarre. But I've
just Google?
Fixed. Yeah, and well, a lot of things, but Google has been the main sinner in that aspect.
I think you might need an upgrade.
It's entirely possible. I wouldn't mind a new computer, but I don't have the money, and I don't plan to invest into that when I'm going into college.
I sent you my MacBook.
I don't want a Mac.
MacBooks are awful.
Guys, please.
Well, Given that it was 2 weeks ago, I will still ask if anybody wants to give me a recap of last session.
I
Oh.
can try.
I was gonna say, if you'd like, I can also do it, given that it was 2 weeks ago, but I will happily let one of you try.
I got this. So, I'm pretty sure we started. Ooh, wait. I think we started in the cave. I think we started in the cave. Now I don't remember.
No, I think we started with a dragon and woke up.
We did start with a dragon.
Okay. Thank you. We started with, this giant undead / demonic dragon waking up.
Not my fault.
Yeah, it's totally not Jamon.
Jamon.
Their fault. Yeah, look, names are hard. Totally not their fault. It immediately was angry at us. We were able to somewhat subdue it, or at least subdue it enough to run away into a cave, or what I thought was, or what Violet thought was just a cave. After looking around, we realized it was a shrine to Aloris, or a temple to Aloris, or just a safe haven of Aloris priests. I don't remember.
Mhm.
After some exploring, we found a giant circle. We after actually exploring, we found bits of paper from a pilgrim's logs. Violet found, Ridian found the room with the giant circle. That we eventually found out was a teleportation circle. Violet eventually found a room that had a staircase down. She went down and found. Was it a shrine? I don't remember if it was a shrine to Aloris, if it was a shrine to the sage.
It was a shrine to.
It was to Aloris, wasn't it?
Yes, it was the only direct shrine to Aloris.
Yes. She did her prayer of forgiveness while up top they figured out that they needed to do some magic to activate the circle to teleport us away. And as unbeknown to Violet, this giant dragon had made its way through and was barreling towards the circle. But then the shield guardian from before reappeared. But as the dragon got closer, its objective changed from removing us from the picture to removing it from the picture.
King Kong versus Godzilla had us.
Yeah, and and then one by one we slowly entered the circle and appeared in, I think, a grassy field. I don't remember.
Oh no, not that. But
no,
that is okay. That is certainly good enough.
Where we ended up. I don't remember where we ended up.
Certainly good enough for
I
inspiration.
think we were all going through the.
We were in the beam, and
yeah. I
think I kicked a spirit out of the beam.
Yeah.
I think it was
Yes.
the collector's spirit, wasn't it?
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I turned it down. If it's still a little loud, let me.
Thank you.
I think it was
Better
grabbing. He was grabbing Ridian's toesies.
So, to sort of recap from there, as this is picking up right after that, I'll just go over that a little bit. In this room with the portal, the last of you jump inside as the skeleton of a dragon ejects blue flame from itself, the light in its eyes leaving. And that blue flame manifests itself in a figure with light blue flame extending from every part of its body, clad in heavy black iron armor, with several skeletal heads around its body, one on the top, reaching out to grab one of you before, I believe it was Rydian, launched it out of the stream of the portal, sending it careening somewhere else, unbeknownst to you. And as all of you continued through the portal, you found yourselves on a very dusty, dirty, ruined teleportation circle, old and decaying. Around you there is nothing but sand. The sun scorches your eyes for just a moment. You are battered with heat. And in the distance you can see a giant mountain. And while I don't necessarily have anything going on here, just to give you guys a general idea, here is the desert ruins. I'll put you guys all down in a moment. Actually, need to take some things off the combat tracker. Oh no,
Fantasy Grounds is not responding.
oh, you can reload if you'd like.
Yeah.
I'll put you back on. Ba-ba-ba.
Well, you.
There you go, and I believe...
Oh.
Oh no, that's right, the dog is dead at the moment, so he's not here.
I can say goodbye to my invisibility.
I actually can't remember if the dog died or not.
Oh yeah, it died.
It for sure did.
It got blasted.
Oh yeah, I don't think I resummoned it after it.
The
got
thing has like 6
killed
hit
from-
points.
Well, yeah, but I was trying to remember. I don't think I summoned it back after.
I don't think you
No,
did in the
I
middle of
think
the
Dragon.
stream. No.
Well, I didn't summon it after he died from the dragon.
Yeah.
I just kinda-
It had died outside and you went inside and you did not summon it inside. Probably because you knew the dragon was going to come back and it would feel a little bad to resummon it and then watch it die immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, I do feel like really bad watching this thing die over and over again.
It's for a good cause.
But luckily, it's just air,
Yeah.
and it's not,
These actions definitely won't have consequences later.
Little butterfly thing comes up in the corner.
That's so funny.
This will be remembered later.
But yeah, all of you find yourselves slightly disheveled on this sandy platform. The stone beneath you is brittle and decayed. There's that map again for you. Oh, please. Thank you. Some of you are hurt, some of you are not. You're rather exasperated. It is very hot outside, but you have a moment to catch your breath. And I will open up to you all for now. At least so you can talk. That way we're not just going.
Can I tell what time of the day it is via where the sun is?
Yeah, I guess... Roll me a... I want to say... survival. Roll me survival.
Alright.
How hurt is Rydian?
Seemingly...
Quite.
Oh my fucking...
Oh my
There it is!
goodness
Everything is going down to
gracious.
shit from here on out, guys.
So, I will give you a little bit extra at that. First of all, you can tell it's actually getting into the later evening. It is a time of year in which it can actually get rather late in the day and before it actually gets dark. So it's probably about 6 p.m. about. You think it'll get dark within the next 2 hours. And with that being said, you're also able to put together, just by looking at which way the sun is moving, which way is east, and therefore knowing which way is north, west, all that stuff. And the last thing I'll give you is that looking around in the distance, seeing the mountain, the main mountain you could see nearby, but in the distance you can see a large retinue of mountains. And if you look specifically westward, you can see in the distance a very large forest. You believe you are in, I believe, Yariel. In one of the eastmost parts of Ulvunter. But yeah. To answer your original question again, 6 p.m.
Rydian is on the ground, very hurt. Starts to cast spell to heal himself.
I will wait to see how much this does.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
All right,
Uh,
I'm
how
doing
many-
better.
How many more do you need?
12.
I will use 12 lay on hands too. Or do I have to do them in increments of 5?
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
The reason people do them in increments of 5 is because when you heal exactly 5, you can get rid of a disease.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a chance that you'll have less if you use not in increments of 5, but there's no harm in it.
Yeah, I'll just use 12 to heal them the rest of the way.
Can I do a quick detect magic to see? Well, one, what I can see around, and two, to see if that wind is still present with us.
Absolutely.
Which, could you do that for me? Because the thing is like heal 5. So I can't really
Oh.
do the
Yeah, I will do
increment of. Thank you.
And what's it called? Haman needs 8. Oh, so you can just do 20 if you wanted.
Yeah, I'll just do it like that then.
Gotcha.
I'll just do 20 and
Alright,
have 15.
Perfect.
What's going on?
You just got healed.
Oh, okay.
But Elowin, detect magic goes off. You can see beneath you there is a small circle that is barely visible, most likely the teleportation. There's some conjuration leaking off of there, but it seems very weak and flickering. You think that whatever trip you just made was most likely one way, unless somebody activates the portal again while you're standing here. But you don't really know of anybody that would be able to do that. And looking for the wind, you do see it. It's a bit more present now that you're above. There is a mass amount of wind you can feel without the detect magic flowing every which way, suggesting that actually soon there will be a sandstorm of some kind.
Oh.
But you do see traces of that divine magic sort of wisping about through the air far more gently than the rest of the aggressive bouts of wind, and it does appear to be flowing towards the mountain that you assume to be the Mountain of Wishes, which, even though your detect magic has a very limited range, just with like this filter on, as you look, you see stars around the mountain that realistically shouldn't be there. Given how like cloudy it is or how bright it still is outside. But yeah.
Sorry, you cut out for me a little bit at that very last part.
All good. It's what was the last thing you heard me say?
I heard the gentle wind leading towards the mountain. I just didn't hear the last thing.
It was that the mountains the mountain in the distance, even though your range is very limited on detect magic, you just with this filter on, you can see that there are stars around the mountain that realistically shouldn't be there given the time of day.
Okay.
Ooh, stars.
I
Can
will relay
Radiant
all
see that
to the
too?
others.
Can Radiant, if you use your detect magic, do you have detect magic?
I do have detect magic.
Yeah, if you want to, you could see it.
Or yeah, I'll
it's
do it
relayed
because
to you.
I
I would say,
yeah,
Ray definitely
because
tells you.
Radiant is a circle of stars druid.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe he could kind of get a little bit of a something off of that.
Sure. If you what's it called? If you want to use detect magic to look at them, I can have you roll a check to see if they mean anything to you.
Yeah, I'll do detect magic.
Gotcha. I feel like so because you used a spell slot, I'll give you advantage, but I feel like this has to be either a religion or an arcana check.
Great. I'm not awesome at either.
Or you know what? Let's do nature. Let's do nature.
I'm better at that. Okay. Advantage.
Ooh, 11. You are looking at the stars in the distance, and you notice a few things. The first thing is that they're very slowly moving. There are a limited amount of them that are surrounding the mountain near the top. They seem almost two-dimensional when looking at them from this far away. And you can tell that they are probably trying to spell something out in a language, perhaps Celestial, but it is hard to figure out what exactly they are meaning, given how little you've seen something like this before.
I do speak Celestial.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess Ridian will just wait until we get a little bit closer to try to look again.
Sure.
I'm having difficulties.
Oh, you are? What's going on?
I can't draw an arrow. It will not let me.
Oh,
It keeps popping up the
Oh,
log.
same.
Keeps popping up an error. I just wanted to know how far away the big tomb over there was.
60 feet, about.
Okay. Okay. I just
So,
wanted-
oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, go on.
Oh, Violet was gonna start walking over there.
Okay. I'm gonna look around for any sort of coverage, any place to make good camp at.
Go for it. I think that's another survival check, easily.
Yeah, I would have told you guys there's also a sandstorm coming.
Oh, yeah.
I will also use Divine Sense as I walk up to this.
With
What I'm
Ooh.
assuming is a giant tomb.
Yeah. With Divine Sense, as you kind of peek around, look in the crooks and cracks of the tomb, you do not sense anything Celestial Fae or Fiend. Or undead, for that matter.
Am I... Oop, go ahead.
You're fine. Continue.
I was just asking if I'm able to see the top of this.
The top, you could, though you are not tall enough to look over it, you could easily pick yourself up to look at the top. It appears to just be a long destroyed tomb. Why it is this huge, it kind of escapes you. There is a little bit of iconography of snakes on the front, but you do also see a bit of touches and pieces of Aloran scripture on there as well. Some common prayers that you've actually heard of in your time, inscribed on the edges of the tomb that have been broken and chipped away a little bit.
Okay. You cut out at the end there.
There are a few little chunks of like scripture that you're well aware of, Aloran scripture,
Mhm.
that have been sort of cut up and chipped away over time, etched into the sides of the tomb. But
Like,
when you look at it, it's hollow. There's nothing inside.
were they put there afterwards?
After
Or,
it was broken,
like was it put there when the tomb was made?
it looks like they were there when the tomb was made.
Okay, I just wanted to.
Yeah. And Haman, with that 10 survival check, looking around, this area in general doesn't seem like a great place to stay if there's a sandstorm coming. But given how large it is, the tomb could provide temporary shelter if you all huddled in there for a little bit. But it
Is there any places
amazing.
like further out before we get caught up in the sandstorm that could be used for coverage?
You think that with enough effort, aka a high enough roll, you could certainly move deeper towards the mountain where there are some bits of cliffside or caves that you might be able to get yourself into as to not, get caught up in the storm. Or at the very least, you could make a small shelter in some etchings between cliffs. But you would be racing against the storm, and you might get caught in it a little bit if you try and push it.
And how far out is the storm from now?
I would say, given the detect magic, probably until sundown, so an hour and a half.
Okay. Haman's not going to take that risk. Is there any sort of like... Well, it is... I was actually assuming everybody's here is just stone, actually. It's just stone.
I don't know why it's stopping you guys from using the arrow, so I will point at things to the best of my ability. What do you think is just stone?
Everything. Everything's just sand and stone.
Yeah,
sand,
pretty
stone.
much.
Yeah. What do I have in my accessories I use?
I'm gonna look inside the tomb. I don't know if you said I already did or not.
I just assumed you did with your divine sense. It is hollow. There does not seem to be anything inside, nor are there remnants of anything that might have been inside. Which I'll actually make
Oh,
a little bit of walls around this one moment.
it looks.
How big's a bedroll, would you say?
Enough to fit one person. I imagine that there are various sizes depending on the person that buys them, in all honesty.
Okay.
That scared the heck out of me, Dust.
Oh, the wall.
Yeah, I was like, "What the hell's happening?"
Do you think it's big enough to cover this fucking gap right here?
Yeah, actually, you could probably, with enough, like, laying it out and taking out, the stitches, you might be able to, expand it so that it's not just, like... It's kind of like, you know how, a sleeping bag is like a little pocket you can sit in? If you get rid of the stitches in the sides that fold it over each other and just make it a giant tarp, yeah, you could easily cover that.
Yeah, I might have Haman do that before the storm comes.
Absolutely.
Oh, and have us like get inside the thing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Which direction is the sandstorm coming from, actually?
It's going this way. I'm pointing directly at Ridian. Sorry, it's coming. It's coming.
Coming
that
for
way?
Ridian.
It's going
From
for
the east?
specifically Ridian. Yes, from the east.
Okay.
Okay. Ridian will start gathering like heavy rocks to help weigh down the
I
bedroll.
Absolutely.
have a question.
Yeah.
Is there any patch that would be useful on the robe of useful items?
Oh, well, that is a question. Well, thank you for reminding me, because I need to pull up the document and look at the robe, so I understand what is what.
I know there's like some funny stuff on there.
There's some pretty silly stuff going on with that thing. Let me... Campaigns, Rising Winds... I should just always have this open. I should have been aware of this. Basic writings... Should be at the bottom. There it is. Let's see. There are... I don't think you're actually aware of what's in the 12 other ones. But... What's it called? There is... there are patches that you are fully aware of that I don't think you've used any of. Like, it has 2 of each. Let's see. There's a sack, a 10-foot pole, rope, lantern. Yeah. Those are probably the only ones you could probably makeshift into something else.
Never mind then.
Got you.
I know I used one of the lantern ones.
Yes, that's right.
Because Ridian has it. Ridian has
Yeah.
the bullseye, one of the bullseye lanterns.
But if you want to use one of your 12, you could easily pull on one of them. I'll look and see if you actually know what they are. Or determines them randomly. It doesn't say that you're not supposed to know, and I feel like it would be... I would be remiss if I didn't tell you. So I will send you a message of what they are.
Oh god, I know that I was reading the list when you were rolling. I know some of them are just crazy.
It's actually hilarious how much of them are purely money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if you get out of this, you're gonna be rich. You just straight up have 3,000 gold in there.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Their luck was insane.
wow. So, if you were to lose 3,000 gold one day, don't worry about me.
None of them is what I hoped for, so
Yeah.
it's cool.
The spell scroll might be useful, but you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so instead of doing the front, then I'm gonna do the top of the tomb where it's cracked open. It's coming from the east.
What's? Never mind. I
Okay.
won't use that one right now. I was gonna say, what's the chance that the spell scroll is gonna be useful?
I will literally roll on a table to determine what it is.
Yeah.
You have gates.
I don't-
No, you have a spell scroll of wish.
I don't have to immediately use it, right?
No, you just get it.
Can I rip off the spell scroll
Yeah, let's find out what this is then.
just for fun?
All right, we'll see if it's level 1 through 3. That's a level 1 spell.
Oh, well,
And then,
can it be any level 1 spell?
oh yeah, any level 1 spell.
Oh, okay.
But it's random, so I need to decide how I'm going to determine. Okay, we'll do... I gotta make this easier on myself.
Mold earth.
6, so that's page 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we'll do a 20, and if it's 19 or 20, we'll roll again. 14. Perfect. And now I can count that again.
Me. That's me, though.
You have thorn whip.
14. Well, this is not useful at all. It is a level 1 spell scroll for the spell Hex.
Oh.
Okay. Well,
I will...
I'll
I'm gonna
keep
add this
that.
to your paladin powers because you only get to use this once. So we'll just delete it when you're
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
You can curse someone.
Hey,
How
man.
does it feel being one of the few paladins around that can curse someone?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay. Well, she'll help, like, fix up, kind of, I guess, fix up, quotation marks, the tomb to
absolutely.
the best that it is.
You you guys, I believe you guys actually have a few combined bedrolls if you wanted to all contribute a little by little. And by doing so, you are able to sort of create very temporary patches for the various bits and pieces of this thing that are broken, which I will display by turning them into illusory walls, which just means you can walk through them.
So, I also like to use my rope
Gotcha.
and set it on and start setting it up as like a fireplace.
Gotcha. Sorry, it's
So,
gonna
like-
get real dark in a moment.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you can do that.
Wait, where's Rydian?
Radiant's outside.
Pretty
Oh,
good.
Yeah. So Hamon's is to make a little makeshift fireplace before when it goes dark.
got you. Let me. Do you still have the torch? Is that why? Yeah, Radiant still has the torch. Let me get rid of that. The torch would definitely be gone by now.
Oh, well, he
I also
should-
have a lantern that I.
Yeah, you should have a
just
lantern
have.
that was filled and lit when you rip it off.
I see. Wonderful.
And it lasts for like 8 or 10 hours.
Got you. Okay. Well, in that case,
6 hours.
Rydian is blind in the dark. He cannot see. So there needs to be a light of some kind.
Absolutely. I will, with your lantern and thing combined, I'll just place that right there.
A bullseye lantern casts bright light in a 60-foot cone and dim
Oh,
light
yeah.
for an additional 60 feet.
There you guys go. There's one right there.
Yay.
I need to get rid of these. That's really helpful.
So
There we go.
I'm only gonna look to the group. Do we want to travel during the night, or do we want to wait till next morning?
Considering
From what I've read, I believe that desert travel is safest around dusk and dawn.
I agree. It's not too blistering hot.
But it doesn't
Or
only
will it be
last.
freezing cold?
Yeah.
But dusk and dawn only lasts a few hours.
It's true.
We can also see the mountain where we need to go, so we're not too far off.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. You can't see very well in the dark, can you?
Traveling at night is an option if I have my lantern, but that will also make us stick out like sore thumbs if there's anything in the dark that isn't friendly.
I would say maybe waiting till dawn would be the best solution, considering we also don't know how long the sandstorm will last.
I think we should definitely wait till dawn. And then in the hottest part of the day, we can always take a rest. Put
Okay.
up this bedroll for a little bit of shade, and just wait until it cools off a little bit, and then keep moving.
I
How
do all
far-
of this since she'll hold up the decanter of endless water.
That
So
is-
useful.
Definitely necessary.
How far is the mountain from where we were?
That's a wonderful question. It all depends on, I would give you measurements and how long it would take you to get there. If you guys do plan to just go, like, at dawn and dusk and take shelter in the meantime, or maybe walk slower when it's not those times of days, it would probably take you about 2 to 3 days of travel.
Oh,
Um,
if you were to just go from dawn and just continue walking till night.
You could probably get there in a day if you just trucked through it.
how many people can fit on Bruce?
Probably 1 or 2 max.
Yeah, I was gonna say it depends on how large they are. With you on it, given that you have a massive suit of armor, you are probably the only one that can be on there if you are on there, but everyone else could probably pair up to get on.
Rydian's kind of large.
Rydian? Oh, okay.
He's 6'4".
Yeah. If you wanted 2 people on there, it would probably be Haman,
Arya and
Elowen. One of just 2 of those 3 people could fit on there.
I
can
might-
wild shape this up. Something.
Oh, yeah, that would not risk me using another patch.
Oh man, fuck! I mentioned when there's one other person. That sucks.
How long does wild shape last?
A minute.
Is it just until you? It lasts a minute.
I think it's a minute. It might be an hour.
I was gonna.
Your druid level determines the beast. You could or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is just until.
It just says you can use it twice per short rest. I think it's like until you change out of it.
Yeah,
Like, whether you,
I
like-
think you're fully correct. I think it's unlimited.
I think it's just indefinite.
Yeah, it's indefinite.
Yeah. I could be a horse.
Yeah.
I'm not riding Rydian.
It would be I'm not saying this is what it looks like, but it'd be very funny if like Rydian wild shapes into a horse. Does not look like a horse, just Rydian with horse proportion.
Oh god.
It'd be an eldritch horror.
No, please no. I did have a very funny idea, Dust. Would you like to hear my funny idea?
Yeah, of course.
So the top patch, right, on the list you sent me, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can a horse pull that?
In the sand?
It was a full-on joke, because then I remembered that it's sand.
I
And I was like, "Oh, no." It would be very funny though.
For
be
context,
very
he's referring to
horrible.
a rowboat.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was a joke. Yeah,
It
was a joke.
I mean, it works in
but it was a
Minecraft, right?
very funny idea in my head of just having a horse drag a rowboat with all of us in it.
I mean, it works in Minecraft, doesn't it? You can roll land on a mic in Minecraft, can't you?
I guess.
Rydian wild shapes into a camel and drags a rowboat.
A camel would probably be better than a horse in this scenario.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, because it's sand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
According to this website, camels have a challenge rating of 1/8.
You'll be fine. Yeah,
Oh.
you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Do we wish to take wish to take a long rest, essentially, and wait till dawn?
Mm,
You might not have a choice in
Yes.
the storm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we should definitely long rest. I'm
Yeah.
not doing great on spells.
And Hamal
Sleep and shift like normal.
uses all his rope to create a fire.
Yeah, well, there's already a lantern there if you're worried about light.
Well, is this heat? Because it gets really cold at night.
Sure. There will be a small fire set in the center, and over the course of about an hour or so, you will hear the winds begin to pick up outside. The tarps will begin to blow a little bit in the wind. You'll grab some of those rocks that you had grabbed earlier, Ridian, to plant them in place. They'll still shudder a little bit as sand begins to batter against them. Some sand will also creep in. There is a slight worry that you will be buried, but given the fact that this thing is probably centuries old, it would be weird that it got buried now and not earlier. And after a little bit, you will hear the storm in full force begin to kick up outside, but you have taken preparations to avoid that.
Can I do something while the storm is happening?
Sure, what would you like to do?
Or I don't know when the storm will stop, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm Elven. If we're taking a long rest, I only need 4 hours.
Yeah,
Same here.
absolutely.
Hold on. I gotta find it. 1 second. Give me like.
Oh, how much of my rope did I use to light a fireplace throughout the night?
I'll probably say half, 25 feet.
Half? Okay.
Yeah.
Where is it? If you had more to go, you could continue, Dust. I'm
No, you're
struggling
okay.
finding the document that I need.
Yeah. You all have the opportunity to rest, and you are all in a very enclosed space. If you'd like, you may also speak with one another. Given a lot of stuff just happened. And there might be some things to discuss. And if there are some things you'd like to talk about that you don't quite remember, let me know. I will I will make sure to remind you of what happened. It has been
I think
multiple
Ridian
weeks.
is sitting there and very much thinking about the spirit as they were teleporting, and the spell that he's had to use twice now, being Entangle. And he kind of just reaches for his right arm, as he tends to do when he's stressed out, and he traces scars left from a poison vine that was wrapped around his
Gabe?
arm for many, many decades.
Did you go to bed?
Nope.
Oh.
Mhm. Oh. Yeah. And anyone that is paying any amount of attention could probably see a little bit of this as he sort of scratches his arm and moves over a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think Garian normally would pay attention to stuff like that, but she looks very deep in thought at the current moment. Also about that spirit after kind of starting to piece all the puzzles together of what exactly is happening.
So that spirit knows what happened and why Aloris isn't answering prayers, and it chose to leave it secret because it felt betrayed or something like that. And it
I think it's even more than that. I think it's actively working against us. It doesn't
Yes.
want us to find what we're looking for.
I agree.
I just don't quite know what that means yet.
I feel like we will find out in due time. We'll figure it out eventually. But for a priest of Aloris to be this angry at her, I don't understand why. None of the pilgrims that I interacted with, if they knew the truth or not, I don't know if they did. They didn't seem angry at all when she stopped responding. They see it as a message or something. I don't quite remember.
Well, that is what we're here to find out.
Yes, I know. I just, the way that I was taught and told was different from the way. Dusk, was it a pilgrim or just a priest, or are they the same thing?
What are you referring to?
The person who was writing the things and wrote the one about I will use everything in my power to make sure that your secret is never found out, or something like that.
You
it was
had
cursing Aloris.
You 5 were put together as a team to find someone known only to you as the first pilgrim, a follower of Aloris that went to find the truth of what happened to Aloris. And he never came back. So your goal was to find both him and also discover what happened to Aloris, or perhaps both at the same time. And though you did not know it until last session, you would put together through reading the notes that the pilgrim you were looking for is the same person that wrote the notes, and is also most likely that spirit that you had seen all the way back in Ibris, the one with the cloak.
Okay. Totally forgot where I was going with my little rant.
Oh shit, I killed it.
What did you kill? What?
Well, I believe it was a projection. It wasn't the actual person. But, yeah.
Could have been the lingering spirit of that person. The pilgrim.
I thought we had figured out that it was like I don't know what the right term is for it. An image.
It was relatively unclear. It might have been either of you could be right. It could be a projection. It could be a spirit.
Okay, my bad.
No, you're okay.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, it doesn't make sense. But I guess that's what we're here to find out, and to make sense of it all.
True.
And there is some silence spread throughout as some of you either drift off into sleep or stew and everything that's happening. The book you had acquired back at the temple does not rattle or shake as it has in the past. It remains silent and unused for the time being.
As like, if you're okay with me, like, kind of skipping ahead a little bit in
Sure.
like hours, as Violet comes out of her trance, she'll keep her eyes closed and say a small prayer, if that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll what's it called? Roll a religion check for me.
Religion check. 1 second. There it is.
Oh, that's very good. Gain a concordance. Actually, with a 21.
I do have a prayer ready.
If you'd like. But gain 3 concordance.
Cool, I'm at a 1.
What's a concordance?
It is favors to the gods, essentially. The more you will contribute to a god throughout the course of a campaign, the more concordance you'll get. And at any point, whether you have any amount of concordance, you can ask to quote-unquote petition the gods for help. You roll a d100, and based on what you roll, you will get something out of it. And you will always add your concordance to that roll, and you will also lose concordance every time that you do so. Violet did it actually a while ago, and ended up getting such a low roll that they were baned by their god. Which is, if you get a roll lower than 40, you annoy the gods, and they will curse you for an amount of time. But if you get basically higher than a 70, you'll get something for in response to your request.
So 40 to 70 at that rate is like nothing happens?
Yeah, 40 to 70, nothing happens.
I have a question.
Yep.
Because I don't fully remember. Violet still does she still feel that thing in the back of her head from Don Sodomir?
Before
Like in the back of like. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, before it had felt like a petty anger, the upset tone of someone who you relied on in the past and who they relied on you. You haven't talked to in ages, and then you ask them for help the second you see them again. And there was a very swift denial and anger in the back of your mind from your god. But after your plead for forgiveness, the easiest way to put it is a feeling of probation, an acceptance of your apology, but a knowledge that they are not so willingly going to turn their trust back onto you, but enough that you understand that they understand your effort and they appreciate the effort, and that isn't going to go unrewarded.
Now, real quick, I will read the prayer. It's a double prayer because it's to both the god and
Sure.
Aloras. Because I feel like, but it's short, I promise. Not very long. I ask the stars of the sage to light our path forward, and I ask the winds to help guide our feet. I pray to Dan Sodomir for knowledge and for the ability to prepare for the times ahead, no matter if they are dire and grand. I pray to the Titan Aloras for her winds to guide our feet, so that they are swift and sure. I pray they guide our blades and arrows, that we may overcome any being that stands in our way, if words prove not working.
Lovely.
And that's like right at the end of her trance.
Absolutely. And that will give you that 3 concordance from earlier.
Which, because I'm no longer in the negative, did that change the feeling at all, or no?
Probably so, actually. More of an... After the original forgiveness, there was a hesitance and their acceptance of what you had said, but now there's a bit more comfortability in the back of your mind, a neutrality, but a smile alongside it.
But it's still like the feeling of I still need to prove myself again.
Perhaps. Maybe less so that you need to prove yourself, and more that they accept your apology.
Okay, cool. I mean, Violet will probably still feel like she needs to keep proving herself.
Of
because
course.
at one point, my headcanon for it was that Don Sodomir kind of spoke to her a little bit. Not like heavily,
Sure.
but like
That's a common
little
thing to happen.
words, little whispers here and there when she would pray or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wait, how do you get negative? How do you get a negative?
Whenever
because
Yeah.
because I petitioned the gods and angered them. So, but you need like 5 to not go. Like I think you need like 5, right?
So, what's it called? You can petition the gods at any time, but no matter what you roll, you will always lose concordance. I believe you had 0 concordance, so you got to negative
had-
5.
I had 3.
Oh, so you got down to
I
negative
only-
2. Yeah.
-2.
You'll basically always lose a certain amount of concordance based off of what you asked for and what you got in return. Like if you ask for something really big, you could lose like 20 or 40. But you know,
It's smited.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. And then she'll listen out to see if the storm has passed yet. When she
Absolutely.
comes out of her trance.
Let's go ahead and roll one of these. Ah, well that's not good. No, the storm has not passed. The storm will go on for a total of 9 hours. You are about 4 hours in. 5 hours at this point. So, once everyone... Actually, it's kind of convenient. Once everyone has finished their long rest, it will be petering out. After about 30 to an hour, it'll be done. But yeah.
She kind of just chills there in her own thoughts.
Yeah. For those of you that end up sleeping, I don't know if any of you don't sleep or not, but for those of you that end up sleeping and some of you that go into trance, though there is nothing specific about it, there is a bit of a dream that you have, a slight nightmare touching the edges of your mind, that thing chasing you through the portals, the Collector following you. And Rydian specifically, you can't shake the feeling that what you did, while necessary, was nothing more than a grasp at time rather than an execution of an enemy.
Is Rydian awake right now?
What's up, Rydian?
I think as the morning kind of comes around and as I finish my long rest, I think Rydian will wake up with kind of a gasp.
Mhm.
Like he's he's out of breath. There's not enough air.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always gonna look at your legs.
Is there goat legs?
Let me go ahead, do this a little bit ahead of time.
That spirit thing grabbed you on your leg, right?
It did.
Did it leave a mark by any chance? Like the ones we had before?
Oh. Roll a medicine check.
Medicine.
I'll wait.
I'll roll as well.
What the fuck is medicine?
Nice. Rydian, you are looking at it. You can't really find anything of note. Perhaps it's a little burnt, but it seems to be healing rather well. But Haman, as you are, not only do you notice a bit of burning, nothing major, might cause a slight limp, but something easily healed with rest and magic. There's just the residue now. However, you do notice, were any of you hit by the fire besides Rydian when it wrapped around his leg?
I
I
don't
don't-
remember.
I don't think so.
I think the only other person who was hurt was Haman because he punched a dragon.
No, I didn't.
That's-
I punched the dragon. What?
Well, he didn't punch it, but he tried to steal a tooth
Yeah,
But I don't think I got hurt
or
from
bone.
I don't think
I
I got
think-
hurt from that though.
I think, I don't know. Violet might have.
You were hurt
but I
from
don't
something.
think so.
Yeah.
I was hurt from something. What was
Yeah.
I hurt from, though?
Violet,
I don't quite
Arya,
remember.
and Elowen were not hurt.
Yeah, you guys,
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
were.
I don't know.
Oh,
Pretty sure
you
it
know
was
what? I
different.
might have been hurt by the flames then.
Yes.
Because I can't think of anything else I might have been hurt by.
You can see something underneath the skin a little bit, a light glowing of blue. It's not very prominent. It seems incredibly weak, dulled, almost purposeful, as if it was trying to hide. There is a bit of charring. Whatever this is, hard to put together, but you do notice it. And when you notice it, you're able to look at yourself and find something similar where you were injured as well.
I think
Did
we
I-
might need a dispel magic.
I'm assuming I heard like come on ask if it grabbed you.
Sure.
right?
You guys are in a very small space.
Well, yeah. Since I guess they look kind of like a little confused, or they can't figure out exactly. Violet will cast Detect Magic.
Hubmon's pulling out a dagger.
On.
Well,
You will get a hoof to the face if you come near Ridian with that.
well,
All right, I pull out a sickle.
well. With the detect magic, you pull it up. You don't see anything immediately. Only because it hasn't been pointed out to you. Hamon, do you point out what you notice, or do you just pull out a dagger?
He just pulls out a.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still up for like 10 minutes, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Come on, you just pull out a dagger. What are your... Before you do anything with the
Ridian.
dagger, what are your intentions?
Ridian, I need you to stand very still for me.
Ridian kicks Hamon in the face.
Yeah. Your foot will kick outwards. I imagine Hamon does not want to get kicked in the face.
Can I actually intercept this
Sure.
and just put the great sword between the hoof and the
You're gonna knock a
on.
greatsword in my face, bro. So what's gonna fucking happen?
There is
well, no,
a bit of a scuffle begins to break out between you three.
I think this will
Um,
cause Arya to wake up.
Yeah.
Wait, I think I have a feat just for this. Hold on. I have interception.
Okay, so I'll resolve this right now. You pull out a dagger, Ridian goes to kick, Violet goes to block, and basically all three of these actions tend to, what's it called? They kind of cancel each other out. You all stop each other from hurting one another in any way. And there's a moment of pause. Do you say anything?
What are you all doing?
What the fuck?
enough.
There's something in your leg. Man.
Okay, okay. Well, can we have one of the people who knows what they're doing look at it
What do you mean
instead of
knows
pulling out
what
a
they're doing?
knife? I don't know. Maybe the person who literally knowledge cleric. Hello.
We're like one of the best people here who can
Or-
use a knife. What are you on
or-
about?
Or, the person who just cast Detect Magic to figure out what the
Yeah.
hell is y'all are talking about.
And when you
Think
hear
Arya will
Hamon,
also.
What are you trying to cut out of my leg?
yeah,
I'm not trying to
You'll
cut out your
both-
leg. I guess there's a blue little skitter in it.
Okay. Oh, okay.
you will both cast
Now
detect
that it's been
magic, and when
Pretty much
Hamon,
spit it out.
yeah, when Hamon points it out, you will both look, and you will see traces of necromancy, of course, given the nature of this magic. But there is also a tad bit of transmutation in there, as well as conjuration. Or sorry, not conjuration, divination.
Does any of it look familiar to Arya, considering thinking it might be related to that other tracking device was on them before? Does it have any resemblance to that?
It does. It looks to be similar to the sort of brands that you all had before, but there is something notably different about it. When the brands were there before, there were touches of divination and necromancy. Necromancy from the nature of the person who cast it, the collector. Divination from the nature of tracking and understanding where you are at any given point. However, the last brand did not have any transmutation in it, and this one does.
And
Come
remind me
on.
what transmutation magic is?
Transmutation
type of
is basically the act of changing one thing into another.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put away his dagger. Oh wait, I forgot I have. Pulls out his thieves' tools.
And is the shape of it any different? Like, would the shape of it maybe be able to tell how it's different as well?
Go
Like, if I
ahead.
can try to figure out exactly what it might do.
Go ahead.
If
and
I dispel it.
Go ahead and roll an Arcana check for me.
Okay.
If you want, you
And
can
I
use your thing to give yourself proficiency because you have the really cool knowledge cleric thing.
Wait.
Oh yeah, let me do that.
Is it- Is the little blue flame thing like attached to one of the hairs, like a lice? Like a
No,
flea?
it seems to be under the skin.
Oh shit! Well,
Can
Yeah,
I also make an Arcana check? for the
absolutely. Yeah, make an Arcana check for me.
Will this just automatically go on whatever roll, or is there something special I need to do?
14's really good. What are you? Sorry, remind me what you're trying to do.
Using the knowledge of the ages.
I don't actually know how this works in Fantasy Grounds. Go ahead and roll it, and then I'll add if I need to.
Okay. Arcana. Boop.
Okay, so 17 is your real score. I'm just gonna.
Cool.
Yeah. So with a 14, you look at them and you also pick up this difference, Violet. And when you do catch that hint of transmutation magic and you see Arya going through the same things, you know, at least with a 14, whatever that transmutation is, not good. You think it's going to do something rather bad if it activates to the people that it's on, but you can't tell what or when it activates with a 14. However, with a 17, Arya, while Violet's able to put together that something bad is going to happen, you are more focused on what's going to trigger it. You feel that you've actually heard of something similar to this before. There is a type of rune that certain necromancers have put on people under their servitude or one way or another, that is both a curse and a ward, where essentially if you dispel the curse, the ward will activate, doing something to the person that it is on. And the only way to actually properly solve this is to get rid of the ward and the curse at the same time. Elsewise, something bad will happen to the person that the rune is on.
Which I probably don't know how to do.
And I'm assuming a lay on hands or lesser restoration won't help, right? I'm just making sure.
A lesser
It's not like an illness or a hurt.
I know, I'm
or
just-
like an injury. It's like a.
I'm just.
I'm
I
assuming it
know
would
how
need
to
like a
solve
remove
this.
curse kind of thing.
I know how to solve this.
So, so essentially,
We have anti-magic. We have a potion of.
you do have a potion of anti-magic. That is true.
Huh?
There is, what's it called? I'm trying to figure out how to answer your question properly. You do have a few ways that you might be able to get rid of this. Lesser restoration would help, but you think that you would need a greater restoration to properly solve this. However, you need to cast it at the same time that someone else does a Dispel Magic, and even with that, Arya, you're aware that a Dispel Magic could work, but it's possible that it doesn't. And if it doesn't work, something bad will happen.
Amon's like opening up his thief tools, preparing to do a whole surgery on his leg. He doesn't know what's going on. He has detect magic, hasn't used it yet.
Funny.
Come on, put the thieves' tools away.
But like, you can't get rid of that though.
I understand, but don't do that.
I think as this is like explained to Ridian, his eyes just get very distant and dark.
Wait, did they explain it to us?
Oh yeah, Arya. At least I don't know about Violet. Arya would have definitely
Well-
explained.
Okay.
Violet explains what she knows, at least.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Ridian
and
just
Arya
gets
would
a
explain the
very
rest.
far away look in his eye as he accepts yet another curse upon him.
And
Um,
where's the-
Listen, this man has been cursed by monsters and archfey and now the undead. And he just says like, I was going to wish to get rid of my curse, and now there's another. And he just shuts down a little bit. He kind of just slumps where he sits.
Amon's gonna look at the little blue spurt on his leg and it's kind of like a little light bulb in his head. You guys check the rest of us, see if we have any of that. And like, start searching every inch of our bodies. I was gonna like T-pose in front, legs spread out.
It's a tick check,
It's a tick check.
like you're at summer camp.
And yeah, as described earlier, while you could see little wafts of before, bits where Haman was hit by fire, you can see that rune. You think it's all, although he was probably hit in a wider spread, it does seem to be all one thing, not multiple, like, runes cast upon him.
Is it just Haman and Rydian?
Yeah, after you do just like a quick look around, making sure any spot you might have been injured, it does seem to only be on Haman and Rydian.
Well, this sucks.
Yeah, Rydian just looks utterly defeated and sad and upset and frustrated.
Haman's gonna look at the little curse on Rydian and like, can he gauge how much of the elixir he has to use to dispel both Rydian and him?
Well, let's see. Anti-magic would certainly be able to get rid of this. I think,
Because I know it's like, if it's very tiny, right?
Yeah. I think, given how little you have of this, I'm gonna have you roll, if you would want to use it, a medicine check. The first one, if you do use it, you'll have to get above a 10 to make sure that you can actually get rid of it. And without, using up the rest of everything you have. And then if you want to do it again and still have a little bit left, you'll have to roll over a 20.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, so
What if
if
we're
I do...
just like okay with using the rest of it between the two
So-
of us?
Well,
So
that's the thing, is that you could certainly use it on one of you to get rid of it. And, that's guaranteed.
Oh, because we've used like a quarter of it.
we've used one.
It would take like a
fourth
half. It would take like a half to get rid of it on someone.
We've
yes,
used
unless-
1/4 of it.
Unless
I've used
you are
1/4.
incredibly
of it so far.
precise. You'd be able, guaranteed if you want to use basically the rest of it, you could get it off of one of you. But if you want to keep some of it and just use a fourth each, you need to roll a good check to make sure you have a quarter left when you're done. Or even a quarter left after one.
So using okay. So using it on one person would cost only a quarter of the
Using
potion
it
itself.
on one person, depending on what you roll, could use anywhere from a quarter to all of it.
Oh shit!
You would need to roll good. But guaranteed it's going to work on one person.
All right, I'm all gonna look at Rydian, then look at the elixir in his hand. In his head, you can tell he's definitely wagering the value of the potion in Rydian. I'm rolling a medicine check.
Go for it.
Guidance.
Absolutely, add a d4.
Fuck your guidance, Tom.
No.
What? Okay.
I'm gonna
What's it
say
called?
dry cat left, but never mind.
Bless. If you'd like, enhanceability wisdom would also work well here.
What the Watcher's will?
Wait, what is the Watcher's Will? Let me take a look at that.
But that's saving throws. Never mind. I don't have enhanceability.
Thought one of you did.
The only thing I have is that Watcher's will thing, which is saving throws. Now that I think about it.
Got you. Oh yeah, I'm a fool. None of you have enhanceability. I don't know why I
I'll
thought
have you know, Lizzie is very upset that the goat spin is cursed.
But let's go ahead and roll this now to lower your DC. 3. So essentially, what's it called? You need to get above a 10 to make sure you have at least a little bit left. If you wanted to use it on yourself. So.
Hamon's not using it himself. He's just gonna use it on Rydian.
Okay. Let's see. If you get above a 10, you'll have a quarter left. If you get above a 20, you'll have half left.
Okay.
So on the die, you need to roll a 4. You roll a 4 to get a 10 or above, and a 14 to get a 20 or above. Medicine.
I mean,
Natural 20.
well.
well,
Hey.
That's your second one this session, by the way.
All done here from here.
There is worry, Ridian. You are lost in thought, thinking you are upset, you are concerned, you don't know how this could have happened twice, let alone once. And you feel this strange sensation. A Fae is inherently magic. Don't worry, you're not dead because of anti-magic. But a Fae has a lot of magic inside of them, and you feel suddenly very tired. You feel something cold touch your leg, and there's a slight flinch, and as you look down, what are you using to apply the potion, Haman?
He's using the thieves' tools, like the non-sharp ones,
Yeah.
and that's kind of like brushing almost with them.
Absolutely.
Like
There
an ink
is-
pen.
Oh, ink pen is perfect.
He doesn't have an ink, that's kind of the method he's going with. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You feel something cold, your leg flinches, but you look down and you see Haman has the elixir that he had shown before, something sort of like dark blue but glowing. And he begins to very, very delicately and slowly begin to spread it across the curse, the wound on you. And you feel as the curse begins to dissipate, that transmutation magic begins to light up for a moment, and as it tries to break free, the coating begins to overtake it as well. And you feel this cold, tired feeling seep into you, and soon the dark blue substance is gone from your leg, absorbed into the skin, but there's no longer a bird mark. You see none of that light blue flame beneath your skin.
No,
think-
Haman's mostly clothed.
Mhm.
Is the curse also underneath his skin, or is
No.
it on his?
No, only exposed skin where you got burnt.
Oh, so it is on his
Yeah.
skin.
Yeah, it's on your exposed skin.
Okay.
It's wherever you got burnt, which, assuming,
It might just-
burning,
it might-
it's probably exposed.
It might just be his hand, because I think that's the most exposed part first. That would have been him.
Sure, the hand works.
You guys think I can just cut this arm off?
No,
no.
don't do
Cool.
that.
I can definitely shoot a bow with just one hand, right? Like these draw string of my teeth. You think so?
No.
No, please no. Please.
You guys don't think so? I feel like, I mean, what is it? Isn't it like, or maybe get a hook hand.
A can
No.
to fire a bow.
Yeah, like, well, Well, I don't really want to be cursed. Wait, how deep under the skin is it?
Not too deep. It's kind of like when people, when like veins start to appear. When someone's like either like really angry or just working out and it's just visible.
Oh, so
When
like
blood's flowing.
Okay.
relatively surface level.
What was that, Atlas?
So we have a dipped arrow and then the remainder of the potion, right?
Yeah. There.
No, he already
okay.
used the depth arrow. The depth arrow was used on the dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, it
There.
was? Okay.
Because of the nat 20, there's half of a vial left.
hmm I think we gotta try to use it.
Hamon's
I
not gonna.
agree.
No. Hamon shakes his head. No.
You might
The
be
pro-
more of a danger to the party if you don't
Does-
do this.
What's up?
Dust, can I cast command on Haman and tell him to use the potion?
Well,
Want to try that, buddy?
Or no?
I'll just take
Just
it from him and just be
Oh,
like,
yeah,
come
that'll-
on,
You want to risk that,
Yeah.
buddy?
okay. A couple things are gonna happen here.
come on, you're gonna be a danger to us if you don't do this.
I can wait to see how the Ridian trying to grab it
Sure.
works out.
Hamon's looking at his hand. How deep of a could the curse be cut off from his hand?
Not
That'll
without.
probably activate the ward.
Yeah. I was gonna say. I think you could theoretically get rid of it that way, but it might activate the ward. In fact, you're not even necessarily certain that cutting off your arm wouldn't activate the ward. But yeah.
Come on, just let me try.
Hamon's gonna use detect magic himself and see if he can look at any sort of intricacies of it.
Yeah. You'll see what I described earlier, the necromancy, transmutation, and divination magic. In it is, while it seems that the necromancy is inherent, the divination is active, the transmutation is dormant. And
No
given
matter
what was
what, they're
described
watching
to you-
us.
Yeah.
My problem is if we use the rest of this elixir, we'll have no surefire way of escape or defense against that beast earlier.
But if you keep the mark on you, it can track us wherever we go. More than likely.
He's gonna shake his head. He's gonna shake his head a little bit. There's gotta be a different one. I was okay using the potion once on Ridian, but now we have half the bottle left, and I don't know if I can make another one.
I think we have to take the risk.
I'm not worth this risk, man.
And I was.
Yes,
We have to.
you have more passion about all this than I do, man. More drive than I do.
Arya is going to sit for a moment and close her eyes. I'm gonna cast Augury.
Ooh, I like this spell.
What is that?
It's divination, seeing into the future.
Oh,
I'm going to see. I want to try to see how much luck we would have with the tools at our disposal currently. We would have trying to find another way to get this curse off Haman.
With your current tools, looking. So basically, what you're saying is any other way to get rid of this besides using the potion.
Besides the potion, yes.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Arya's eyes are open again, and she'll look at Haman with a very honest look. This is the best way.
And you,
this is horrible.
Haman, since using Detect Magic, you can tell the spell that she just cast was Augury. When using Augury, I cannot give you, like, directly, I can't say what's going to happen, but I can give you an omen. Weal is good, woe is bad, weal and woe is a combination, and nothing is nothing. So woe, in other words, to answer the question of, is there any other way we could do this besides using the potion, there will only be bad results if you try and do that, was essentially the answer.
Haman, take a deep breath.
Half tempted to call some elementals and just knock them out.
What if you just leaving behind? Like that's also a very simple solution.
We're not leaving you behind.
Ridian grabs the potion.
Okay. Go ahead.
Jamal's gonna not let that happen.
So we'll do a little contest here. Each of you roll sleight of hand.
I'm gonna use guidance.
Oh, okay. Oh my god. Okay. You have a +6 to this, I think.
Mm-hmm. So I need at least 15,
Yeah.
16 really to beat it.
No.
Oh.
You, there's no scuffle that breaks out here, Ridian. You instinctively reach out to go grab it, and Haman, you quickly stand up and pull yourself away. You see it before it happens.
Haman does shake his head a few times. I'm not worth this trouble. He's gonna put the elixir on the ground. He's gonna hold the cloak in his hands. He's gonna use Dimension Door to teleport 500 feet away.
Can
Oh, okay.
mm,
I mean,
damn it.
yeah, say none of you have counterspell. Where'd you like to teleport, Haman?
yeah.
500 feet away from the mountain direction.
So going towards the mountain or away from it?
Away from
Okay. I will disappear you, I guess.
Yep.
Sorry, you're gonna see a black screen for a while.
Mhm.
I want you to, Hyro, I want you to message me what you want Haman to do in this moment. You don't know where he's gone. Everybody else? The dark blue ichor sits on the floor. Ridian, you are cleansed of one of your curses, but with the wave of a cloak, a spectral door appears Haman, and all it takes is a quick backstep as you all reach out or sit as you do, and Haman is gone.
I mean, to say what I was going to do, Violet
Yep.
was gonna hit him upside the back of the head with the hilt of her sword to just knock him out,
Yeah?
stop him. But he did Dimension Door, so I can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ridian just picks up the vial. Like, for half a second, the thought of just chucking it far away flashes into his head, like an intrusive thought, and then, he doesn't. He just makes sure that the stopper's on, and he puts it in his belt for the next time that he sees him on.
Is the sandstorm still going on outside?
It is probably, since you guys were having this conversation and going about this, it is probably since fully died down.
Ari's gonna walk outside.
It is 5 a.m.
Immediately, she's going to kneel on the ground in a prayer position, and she's gonna try to speak to Aloris. She's going to ask, "Winds that have guided us, I know the direction you seek us to go, but can you also direct us towards our friend?"
Okay. I want you to roll a D100 as you petition the gods. You're gonna add 1 to this,
Okay.
given your concordance.
How do I roll a D100?
It's the dice that has 2 zeros on it.
Okay.
Dust, I have a question,
Yeah.
and it's fine if it's a no.
Oh.
Can I give up? Oh, never mind.
Oh no.
Never mind. I was
So-
gonna ask if I can give up my own concordance for it, but never mind.
So normally this would result in a curse or a bane, but I don't think that is appropriate for the person you are seeking out. You also, let me give you a lantern, Ridian, since you probably still have yours. You reach out You feel the winds blow. There is whispers in your ear of primordial. The wind saying something to you. It's hard to make out. But nothing happens.
Do I know primordial?
You do.
I don't.
Okay. I believe you do. Oh no, you don't.
I
do
don't
you?
actually.
No. Okay. So yeah, you don't understand anything it's saying, but you hear something in your ears, something that, from your experience with the book, you can recognize as primordial.
Would I be able to quickly cast detect languages to try to make out what it's saying?
Well, I will actually. I'll have you save the spell slot. For the pure thing that under the assumption that you did know what it said, it was unable to be made out.
Okay.
Hence the failed roll.
Yep.
I'll subtract 5 from your concordance.
Yeah. So a mastiff, right,
Yeah.
is a big old dog, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to summon Bruce.
Okay.
I think Ari in the first fit of anger the group has probably seen her in just punches the ground, punches the sand.
Because I don't think we have anything else that Haman last touched. I would like to try to have Bruce smell the potion bottle and try to sniff out Haman,
Okay.
if possible.
Let me. I forgot I did name him Bruce as an NPC. That's really useful.
Yep.
You'll summon Bruce over the course of, I believe, a minute. I think it takes a minute to cast the spell, maybe 10. Oh, 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. There are some efforts. Some of you are trying different things. Bruce will show up. Bruce will walk up to you, which isn't like a dog looking up at you. This dog is about as big as Eurydion.
Mm-hmm.
And is going to look at you as if asking for something.
Violet will say, have him smell the potion. That's the last thing Haman touched. It's the only thing we have.
Rudigan holds it out.
Could a magical dog smell a scent of an anti-magical potion?
We're gonna...
So-
don't worry. Don't worry. I know what I will do
Yeah,
here.
go ahead, Dust. Sorry.
Normally, this would be an advantage because Bruce is a mastiff. However, due to the circumstances of where you are and the fact that he is over 500 feet away at this point, this will just be a normal roll. A 9. I will combat this. I think, I would have you roll for it. Yeah. Come on. Can you roll stealth for me?
Roll stealth?
Yeah.
Okay.
You need to beat a 9.
Which is probably not very hard for him.
Oh, like a 2.
Yeah. No, he'll need a 1.
Yeah.
13. Yeah.
Oh, so close.
Bruce will sniff it. He'll look around. He'll look in this direction. He knows where, I guess, generally, but he begins to walk out. He'll leap onto this. He'll look out. And then he will sit down. And he will look back at you with a very disappointed expression. As much as a dog can have.
Yeah.
And he'll
Violet
leap
will,
back down.
Violet will pat him and you tried your best, bro. It's okay. You tried your best. But from the sense, Bruce thinks it's in that direction, or somewhat, or no?
Given that you can communicate with your steed somewhat telepathically, I like to portray it through ideas rather than just straight up talking.
Yeah.
You get the idea that he knows the direction being away from the mountain, but finding him would take a lot of effort that the dog personally does not think you have enough time for.
Okay.
Rydian looks in the direction that Bruce looked out in and just says, partially to himself, but also to the group, you can't help someone who won't help themselves. If Haman doesn't want our help, we can't make him. And if he doesn't want to travel with our group, we can't make that happen either.
Softly to herself, Violet will say a small thing to Aloris, basically saying to watch over Haman. Actually, she'll say it to both this sage and Aloris,
Mm-hmm.
asking, not like petitioning them to watch over him, but like
Mm-hmm.
a small prayer of, can you watch over him
Of course.
wherever he may go.
I will add 1 concordance. And so, there is a moment where the 4 of you are here stewing in somber, bitter, angry tones. I suppose, is there anything you do here? Or do you simply continue onward?
Violet doesn't know, real quick, sorry. Violet doesn't know if Haman will come back, but she's gonna kind of, her best, like, etch an arrow in the direction they went on the tomb, in case he does.
Of course.
Rydian just slowly starts making his way towards the mountain.
I'm so sorry. I just got the terrible image of him like turning into a camel, which was incredibly funny for no reason.
No, he's just walking for now.
Violet will, however, hop on Bruce and attempt to go ahead of everyone.
Yeah.
To do the thing she's good at, which is watching out for danger.
Can you select Bruce and move him around, or no?
No, I cannot.
Let me see if I can fix that very quickly. Fog of War.
I think Aria will be the last, getting up from the sand and walking behind the group silently.
Mhm. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I can. All right. Well, I don't know how to get him to. Yeah, you can move. I'll move him.
Okay.
Bruce with Violet on board will begin to move, and all of you will begin to move out. And I'll go back to Amon in a moment. As you begin to move through the desert, it is dawn at the moment, but we will go over the course of the next day or so as you sorry, one moment. As you begin to make your way towards the mountain. And so we're going to do a skill check. Similar to before, we'll need 4 successes, except this time there's only 4 of you. So, what
Are
skill?
Are these checks or saves?
Checks.
Checks.
Okay, never mind.
So, what, I suppose, which one of you would like to go first, and which skill would you like to use to help guide you through the desert? There are a few creatures in the desert, none that don't necessarily stand a chance against you. None that you come across at the very least, so if that provides any additional context or ideas for what you might want to do, you have that as well.
I have a +8 in perception and survival, so I'll pick one of those if unless anyone has higher.
No.
I'm planning on.
I
Using
don't think I
religion.
can. I don't think I can argue
Okay,
insight.
Of course.
Oh god. Okay, well.
I don't know, because both of the ones I was gonna do were picked. Oh.
I'm gonna do nature.
Got you. Looking at all those.
Yeah, I mean, you can like, I will do either survival or, or perception. So you can pick either one of those if you want, Violet.
Well, I don't have any plus in survival, so I was gonna do perception because she's in the front.
Yeah, and also
Yeah,
you
go
have
for
a
it.
dog who can give you advantage on that.
Oh, I was gonna actually cast the invisibility to gain advantage if you let me.
No, you could just use the dog.
Hey man,
Just use
I
the
had to
dog.
ask.
Of course.
Yeah,
of
I'll
course.
use the dog.
In that case,
So I get
we'll go-
advantage.
yeah, we will go in order from where you
Right.
guys are here. Violet, go ahead and roll me a perception check with advantage. You want to beat all of you want to beat a 15. Natural 20.
That's
Okay.
a nat
Nice.
20.
I will describe what happens after we get all of them done. So Ridian, I believe yours was nature.
I'm gonna do survival.
Survival. Yeah, go for it.
Great. Can I use guidance with this?
No, only because this is happening over the course of an entire day.
I mean, guidance is a cantrip.
It is a cantrip.
I do have another character that constantly uses cantrips 25/8.
Okay, sure. I'll let you use guidance on this one.
Yippee! Nice.
Okay, yeah, that's
Um.
lucky. You get a plus 12. You have to roll a 2.
Plus
to not
12.
win. Yeah, you're fine. Elowin, I believe yours was religion, right? Or was it nature?
Nature.
Nature, go for it. Wonderful. And Arya, I believe yours was religion, correct?
Guidance.
Okay. You have a plus 6 then.
Significantly worse.
This is where we learn Dutch make a grave mistake.
And yet. the
Wow,
23.
our lowest are two 23s.
I was gonna say your second lowest score was a nat 20. Anyways, we'll go in order. With the perception, Violet sniffing about, it's a bit hard for Bruce to keep everything together in the sand because it's sand. But you are able to, at the very least, become fully aware of anything that might be lurking behind a rock or a
cut out
corner.
again.
Oh, am I here? Am I alive?
Yep, there you are.
There we
We're
go.
able to, at the very least, something.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure. I wonder what's happening. One moment. Let me see if I can fix that.
Could you be like updating or calling something in the background?
No, maybe it's just I have too many things open. Streaming does definitely take up a lot of bandwidth.
Too many things.
There it goes again.
Am I alive?
There he goes.
Also, I'm
There
sorry,
it
all that's
goes.
what happened.
It's okay. I have plans.
God, that might be peaking here. Holy shit.
Am I alive now? You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yeah.
say goodbye to Haman. We have Baman now.
We have Bamon.
Come on.
His twin brother.
Yeah.
Come on of an age.
But yeah, while it's a bit hard to keep track of where you might be going with Bruce, he's fully aware of where anything lurking behind a corner might be, any creatures that might be lying in wait. You are very easily able to avoid, and you are also aware at which times of the day you might need to hide or rest given the heat or another small storm. That is very easily a success. Ridian, with your survival, you are potently aware of the time of day and how hot it is going to get on here. You are able to ration out when the party needs to rest and drink water and eat whatever rations you have left, which are steadily running low. While that isn't necessarily going to become relevant, because I would be a bastard if I decided to make rations important now. For the simple context of flavor, this has been a very long journey with very few stops, and you are running low on food. But
So you don't run low on water.
that's true. You are not running low on water. But you are able to keep the party steady and scheduled and ready for what's to come. That is another easy success. For Elowin, with nature, you are probably more focused on the mountain itself, making sure that despite any road bumps you might come across, you stay on the path. You make sure that any winding roads of sand or rocks, any difficult terrain you might come across, you are aware of it. You know it's there and you know how to get around it, and using some of your elementals or your basic understanding of wind magic, you are able to propel yourself above certain obstacles and make your way closer to the mountain ever so slowly. And Arya, with your religion check, I think this is mostly following the wind. You have your detect magic as a ritual, doesn't cost a spell slot, you always have this active. You are following it as close as you can. You do notice a small strand of wind pointing in the opposite direction of the way you're going. You don't think it's important enough to follow. You have a feeling you know what it's leading towards. As you continue onward, the wind that points backwards diverges a bit, going a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. Whatever it's pointing to, it's moving.
I think she will stop for a moment and look back at it before just keeping on walking.
Mm-hmm. You don't see anything, like, in the distance or anything like that. You have a very strong feeling you know what it's pointing to, but you don't think it's getting any closer, necessarily, right now. You are aware of it. There is a somber tone that comes with it, but whatever it is, hopefully it is also guiding them towards you. You will follow the wind as need be. You will stay steadfast in your path. And over the course of roughly a day, maybe a day and a half, as dusk starts to hit you, you find yourselves at the base of the mountain. Another storm is approaching. There's a small stairway ahead of you, and up ahead you can see a small cave structure leading into the mountain. Something you could very easily get into. Something that might help you get to the top if you so choose to go in. So, unless you have anything else you'd like to do you head into the mountain?
Am I allowed to cast Divine Sense before we head in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no immediate detection of anything under that list. But there is, for those that are religiously inclined, mostly Arya and Violet, but Elwyn and Iridian, you get little pings as well, given your past and research. You definitely feel a massive amount of divine energy, especially with your detect magic, Arya. You can see it literally radiating off of the mountain. And now that you're close enough, you can see those stars up above without even using the magic. Though it is dusk, the stars are clear. They are evident. They point where you need to go. And so you know where to go next.
You said earlier that they were spelling something out in Celestial. Can Ridian read it now that he's closer?
Oh. Violet can also read Celestial, by the way.
So can I.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's very funny.
Yeah, the Star Druid knows star language.
Yeah. In Celestial, Ridian, you'll be the first to notice, but Violet and Arya are not too far to follow. To say what they specifically say is a bit difficult, but they appear to be directions of some kind, as if somebody calling, like, a beacon to a place. There is a certain part of this mountain, a gateway, that you must approach. It was spoken about in the book, a book that, notably, while it's mentioned, has not stirred at all. Have you...
I just, because Violet, has the Sage of Stars. Does she feel like it's him, or no?
Does she feel like the stars is the
Relate is Don Sodomir. directing us.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because he is the Sage of Stars.
I think that this is actually a case where interpretation comes into play. I think that to Rydian and Arya, this is the nature of the Mountain of Wishes, a calling card, a beacon, or maybe somehow a Loris calling you here. Maybe this is just how it's always been. People have been here before. You wouldn't know about this place if they hadn't, and they weren't all worshippers of a Loris, so it's hard to say. But I think it's very reasonable to assume that Violet would think that this is her goddess. Or god. But I think that's up to interpretation.
Scarlet will... Or no, fuck!
There it is, that's one.
That's the first one.
The
I
first
got
one.
through
You did so good. 2 whole hours.
2 hours. God dang it. Violet will look up to them. She'll kind of close her eyes and listen in her mind to see if she hears anything. Because that's her interpretation, that it's the Sage of Stars.
I think when you close your eyes, and I don't think this is a confirmation of what you believe they may or may not be, but you do hear an affirmation. It's very simple. It's one word and a voice that you recognize very dearly. It is your god, and it is simple what they are saying. Go.
Violet will softly whisper, "Thank you." Does she get the feeling that he means go now?
No, it's
Or-
more or less an affirmation, as if one was hesitant.
That's the
and-
direction. Okay.
Yeah. As if one was
Okay.
hesitant, unknowing of what to do next. You have basically been told you're on the correct path.
Okay. Violet will head into the cave, right? You said there was like a cave or something?
Yeah, there's a cave entrance in the side of the wall. Some stairs leading up, perhaps. As you look at the mountain, you can see places on the mountain where stairs jut in and out of it, going up and around.
Yeah. Violet will head that way or in the cave for shelter. I don't know if we need shelter or not. I can't remember.
There is a storm coming up, but you have time to be out here.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you three wanted to do before you head inside?
I think just approaching the mountain and the stars especially, I think Rydian just like puts a hand to his star map, which is like a crystal that he carries with him that like projects the stars if it's put up to light, and he just kind of holds it in his hand. And I think given that the stars did say something similar to the book, he will pull out the book at this point.
And when you pull out the book, it does not flip to a page. You feel no wind stirring inside of it. In fact, it is eerily silent.
Maybe it only activated when we were in the Underdark? Or maybe there's just nothing that it needs to say right now?
Maybe. Maybe it said all it's needed to.
I think Rydian will find the pages that have spoken before, like the ones that opened on their own, and just, as they're walking, kind of trace along the runes, like trying to kind of reassure himself as they walk up.
Mm-hmm. And as you begin to trace your fingers along the runes, there is no wind that is emitted from the book. There is no gust. There is no speaking.
Rydian freezes at this point, because the book's never not responded. And I think he goes back and he tries to summon, like, just whatever latent magic is within him, and, like, tries to get the runes to activate, like, forcefully.
Roll an Arcana check.
So, does Divine Sense only detect creatures?
Yes.
Or can it do okay, I didn't know if it could do objects or not.
With an 11, you begin to forcefully press against the runes, tapping into whatever latent magic you have, trying to cast this spell with these, I think it's a cantrip gust, with this book, but nothing happens.
I think Ridian will like look back to Eluin and Arya, and Violet, and try to like hold it out to them. Just say, it's not speaking. The runes won't activate. It's been silent since we got here.
Can I cast Detect Magic to see if it still has any magic?
Yeah. With the Detect Magic, you do see there is latent evocation magic on it, which is, I believe I described earlier when you first found it, very clearly the gust within inside. But you see something else lingering within, something that is unseen by anyone that doesn't have an active, meaning Arya, given that you just constantly cast it. I imagine you see this as well. But
Yep.
Violet, there is some very dormant conjuration magic. It seems like the spark to a flame, just the beginnings of it.
Is it on a certain, can I tell if it's on a certain page?
No,
Or if
it
it's
just
on
seems
the
to
book
be
itself?
irradiating from the book.
I don't even know. Never mind. I was gonna ask if I can make like an Arcana check to see if I can figure out how to possibly do anything with it.
Mhm.
But I don't know. Can I?
I don't
No.
think so. Not in this case.
Okay. Just thought I'd ask.
Mm-hmm. But Arya, you can also see that as well. The conjuration magic within it.
Something's lying dormant within the side of the book.
Yeah.
Don't know exactly what, but at the very least, it still has its magical properties.
Yeah, it's with Detect Magic. Yeah, you said it was Conjuration.
Yeah, conjuration.
You know,
There was
you
the
know school.
evocation. I'll say there was the evocation of the gust spells, but
Mhm.
rather than that, you also sense a very dormant, very, very, very dim sense of conjuration.
There's it's very faint, but there is a dormant thing of conjuration magic. I don't know if it's waiting to be activated, or even
Is
how
this
it would
something
be
that-
activated.
Is this something that the spirit did to the book?
I don't think so, because it's dormant. Because it's like
So was the transmutation on me.
but there's no like necromancy or anything on
Mm.
there. It's just the conjuration. I think it was already there.
And yeah,
Ariel look, and that stream of wind is, I imagine, leading us up to the mountain still. It's still present.
yes, it's still present.
Okay. Well, there's
think
not
Ridian
exactly
just-
anything we can do about it now.
Ridian just clutches it to his chest like a little bit hopelessly and just continues walking.
Mhm.
The only thing Violet thinks is maybe someone specific has to hold it or something. I don't know. She doesn't really know.
Hmm.
She just walks.
You two begin to walk up. Arya or Elowen, is there anything else?
Nope. Mm-mm.
All right. You four will begin to walk the steps, entering the small cave system with stairs. You're quite tired of stairs at this point. But they're here. And as you breach the border and a sandstorm begins to kick up outside, that is where the session is going to end for the four of you.
Oh.
If
Okay.
you would like to leave, you can if you'd like to stay and talk. However, I'm going to take Hyro into the Only Aloris Knows channel. And
Oh.
Oh.
have a little thing with them on.
Oh.
Goody.
Alright, goodbye, guys. Hamon dies.
So,
Turning the stream
I'll be
off.
back. In case you guys leave, thank you guys for playing. I will see you guys next week.
Thank you for the session.
Of course.
Is it normal time next week, or do we not know yet?
I believe so. Amor, if you need us to put it back by an hour or two, let me know.
Yeah, I still haven't been made aware
Oh.
of what that schedule is or not yet. So
You also want to
Actually-
talk about payment.
Yes, and I'll do that.
I will not be here next week.
Oh, okay. So, next week is also the first week of school. I got my schedule. I have to be in a town 45 minutes away from me until, I believe, about 2 p.m., which is 30 minutes after our start time. So, chances are we might have to move our normal start time an hour and a half back, if that's okay.
That's perfectly fine.
That's
Which-
fine.
Yeah, which would have been 2 hours earlier than we started today. I'll put an actual
Okay.
time in there later. But
Okay.
once we get it all figured out, we'll do that. But I'll message you guys about any type of payment questions I had. Don't worry about that right now.
Mhm.
But yeah, Hyro, follow me.
Uh-oh.
Good luck.
We're going to the principal's office.
Hmm.
Hello, Hyro.
Is the chat still up? Is it the streaming?
What was that?
Are you still streaming?
Oh yeah, we're still streaming.
Okay.
This is going to be mostly theater of the mind, I feel.
I think I did something a bit unexpected.
Oh, yeah. So, according to what you messaged me, Hamon will keep walking. And throughout the day that we just went through with the other four, you will walk, you will take shelter where you need to. There may or may not be creatures that you have to avoid or conquer, but that is not really of any concern to you. Eventually, you will find a place. Are you solely going away from the mountain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Until he gets a good distance away where the mountain is no longer as much in view.
Of course.
And then he'll
Eventually-
probably make camp and just wait.
Yeah. And that you will. Where before your trip to the mountain would have been 1 to 2 days, it is now roughly 2 to 3, given your current skill set. You are far enough away that it is now shrouded in a cloud of dust and sand. And you take a moment to wait. You sit in a campfire. You can see a sandstorm in the distance, but you don't think it will actually get to you in a reasonable amount of time. It's even possible it could dissipate before it get to you, given how far away it is. It's currently shrouding the Mountain of Wishes. The sun is starting to set again. And you sit here with a campfire. A few rations, very little water. So I suppose...
Is the sandstorm
Mhm.
natural?
Yeah, it
Is
seems
it
natural. It seems natural.
Okay.
Is there anything you do going into the night?
He just looks at the curse mark. He'll probably take the risk and rest for 4 hours, which is like his long rest,
Okay.
to put himself in a much fit shape in case something does happen.
Yeah. And
And he does
Yeah.
hold the club tightly as he looks at the mark on his arm.
absolutely. After 4 hours, you will awake. And you'll awake because you'll hear something. The moon is still hung in the sky, though it is almost barely visible, obscured by clouds of dust hanging overhead, and also just normal clouds. It is dark outside. There's no light from the sky to guide you. There is... I don't know if you cast Detect Magic at any point, but you don't feel any wind. In fact, it's been so present throughout your journey that it's only obvious to you now after resting here for a while. The air is still. Completely still. And you are awoken by the sound of sand crunching beneath something's feet.
Hamon's gonna open his eyes and look up. Well, not like he'll probably bring his eyes up
Mm-hmm.
in the direction of the sound.
Mm-hmm. And when you look, you see that figure, clad in dark iron black armor, blue flames sparking, lighting up in the distance. They have a cloak. Beneath it, you can't see what resides, but you can see small dots of blue flame as if lit like a candle, showing eyes beneath the cloak, a cage holding together the giant blue iridescent skull beneath it. And it's walking towards you, and it opens. As you open your eyes, you feel like you are being sneaky, and you are, and yet it reacts. It does not break its stride, but it opens its cloak, letting out two creatures that make its way out. They appear to be tall, long, and slender, their skin gray and sallow. Make a, let's see. Go ahead and make a nature check for me to see if you know what these creatures are. I said nature. Oh! Okay, well, I would have said survival, but that still wouldn't have done it.
Want me to roll survival?
No.
Okay,
that's a nat one. You don't know what these creatures are. They stand tall. Their limbs are they are eerie and wrong and uncanny. They look at you with a terrible smile on their face, almost as if permanently etched in. The way that their bodies move, their bones aren't where they're supposed to be.
Can Hamon figure his way out of escaping this situation alive?
Are you asking if Hamon thinks he could get out of this alive?
Like, is there, like, if in this situation, Hamon isn't gonna think about, okay, can I win this fight? He's gonna think about, can I escape this fight?
Let me see. There's one thing, but I need to make sure. Normally, you have your cloak. Your cloak would allow you to at least escape and start running, but it hasn't reached the next dawn yet, since you last used it. You could try and run, but you don't know how fast these creatures are, and there's something about the confidence in which the collector walks towards you that you are not entirely sure making any movements would benefit you at all.
Hamon's gonna take a deep breath, close his eyes, take a deep breath, and straighten up his back. Hey, man. Am I to be collected or killed?
The two creatures will begin to lurch forward. One of them will jump at you, and just as their arm extends outward in an unnatural manner, claws sharp, they look to rend you asunder, and yet it stops right before touching you. You see the other one is frozen in place a few meters back as the collector reaches out, pulls them closer, as if to stop.
Before you do anything to make wheelies, I know, chat a little bit. I did lose all my...
You want to make a check, or is this Hamon talking?
This is Hamon talking. Like,
Oh, say it again.
before you do collect, kill, whatever it is you do want to do with me. Might we just chatted a little bit? You know, I did lose all my friends. Maybe summer.
Make a persuasion check. I'm so sorry. This is your worst stat, but
Yeah.
a 12. The collector will stop for just a moment. They won't. They look at you, they are expressionless, and you get the impression that when they were speaking before, it was through the creature that they were possessing. You don't actually get the impression that they can talk. And they pause for just a moment, and they stare at you, as if to allow you a single moment. What do you do? Are you there?
I am thinking.
Gotcha.
With Amon's like street knowledge and all the experience he's had in the scenarios maybe similar to this and during his growing uphood, could he figure, without having to use detect magic, that the collector is preparing any sort of counterattack towards him? If Amon did try to escape?
I think I'm not going to make you roll for this. Normally I'd make you roll insight, but this is kind of what I mentioned earlier with the confidence in the collector's stride. You think that he is certain that whatever you try and do will not be enough. Whether or not that's actually true is unknown, right? You could, in theory, get away, but you can tell just by looking at him that he is confident that that is the case, that you simply will not get away, no matter what.
How long till dawn?
You only sleep for 4 hours.
Sorry. How long? How long till the mountain back gets refreshed?
You only sleep for 4 hours, so it's probably literally midnight right now. So 6 to 7 hours.
Okay. I'm also take another deep breath and think. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to say to collector right now. Dust, I'm sorry.
No, you're okay.
Why do you want to know what happened to Aloris or whatever that pilgrim found out so badly? I'm cooked either way, right? I'm donezo. You know this. So do you just tell me for curiosity's sake before you kill me?
They will stare at you lifelessly, the crackling, the wistful echoing crackle of the blue flame around their skull. They don't move. They don't speak. Take a step towards you. And you see as the two creatures begin to move about, they go behind you, flanking your position. As the collector approaches, as he approaches, his arm extends outwards, the palm of his hand reaching towards you. Do you try and stop him?
Can Amon cast Fog Cloud right on top of himself?
I want you to roll initiative.
Alright. I'm so fucking scared. Okay.
I'm gonna say you want to beat a 20.
Oh wow. That's gonna be
23.
Alright.
Okay. you begin to utter an incantation, your hands performing the somatic components, as a fog cloud begins to emerge outwards. However, I want you to make... I apologize. I want you to make 3 athletics or acrobatics checks. Up to you.
Oh, I was wondering if I could use my bonus action to Misty Step my way so far out. As far as I can.
Unfortunately, with the way that fog cloud works, you can't see. So you
Oh yeah,
can't
that
Misty
is
step.
true, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's that's unfortunate. You want me to do 3 athletics checks?
Or acrobatics. Basically,
Or acrobatics.
you're contesting a grapple. You're contesting multiple grapples.
Okay. Does be honest with me, how cooked am I?
Quite.
Oh shit. Oh, that's not good at all.
Well, 13 is still nice. Oh, okay. Okay. The first
I would
one.
like to use all 3 of my lucky. Oh wait, maybe I don't need to.
Well, the first one fails. The second one also fails. The third one, this is the one that matters. Holy shit. You will begin to break out. They go, all 3 of them begin to reach out and grab at you. But you are able to dash, assuming you're trying to move away from them.
Yeah, towards the exit, which I'm pretty sure there's only one of.
Well, they're surrounding you right now. You're fully surrounded.
Yeah, but like towards the exit of the cave is like where he would try to dash to.
Oh, there's no cave. You're just...
Oh, I thought it wasn't a cave. Never
No,
mind
no,
that.
you're
Never
not in a
mind.
cave. Sorry. You're just standing in the middle of the desert, basically.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
And then you'll begin to break out, and you will feel 3 things happen. It's the first one. That's a hit. That is AC of 14. That's another hit. That's certainly a hit. So, I rolled a natural 20, but that wasn't meant to be rolled, so that's okay. You will take, this is this plus 10, because it's 2 attacks. I'm doing 2 attacks at once here, so. You'll take 30 damage as you feel from behind you 2 razor-sharp claws rend across your back, life beginning to be sapped away from you. It doesn't feel natural. It feels incredibly necrotic. And then, with a 19...
Can I use disadvantage on that one?
what was that?
Can I impose disadvantage on that one roll?
Which one? The last one?
Yeah. With my lucky feet.
Believe it or not, that is still a hit.
That sucks. Oh well.
They have a plus 10.
If I don't see them, then do I still?
You don't see the first 2. You
Okay.
feel, what's it called? The creatures that were there before are the ones that scratch up your back, rending you asunder. This last one deals 23 damage. Putting you at 4 HP.
Oh. Okay.
And you see this one. You watch, you feel your back be rent, you lurch forward, you attempt to dash. Make me... What is that? I'll actually roll it for you.
What is this?
This is concentration check. No.
Oh.
The fog cloud dissipates. After the first slash attack, you're able to persist. The second one breaks your concentration. You lurch forward, tripping. And then you see before you, as the collector strikes you, they wrap their hand around your throat. And they lift
Could I
you.
intercept
Oh.
as a reaction?
I don't think interception works in this case. There's no
okay.
there's no other creature here for you to be intercepting besides yourself. He will rise you up from the ground. You feel hurt immediately. You feel your life being sapped away. And then you feel your hand begin to flare. It's hard to look down, but you almost don't want to. You feel blue flame begin to crawl and creep up the side of your arm, and then to your shoulder, and then your chest, and then your body, and then your legs, and your feet, and your neck. And it begins to creep up your neck, and you can see it now. You yourself, you're glowing, your veins made of fire, your bones flaming hot.
I'm assuming this is the curse.
Yes. And your eyes go blue for a moment, and you see something. You see vision from the perspective of something else. First, you're floating slightly off the ground, fire. You see an arrow fire out of the darkness and slam directly into your skull, splitting you in half. And then you see yourself walking up to close to your eye, pulling out some kind of knife, cutting away at one of your teeth. You outrage, you roar, you attack. But
wait, I see myself kill myself?
Well, not quite. You're beginning to put it together a little bit. You see yourself first from the perspective of a skull. A floating skull, one that had an arrow shot within it.
Oh, okay.
And then you see yourself from the perspective of the Draco Lich. As you begin to cut off some of its teeth, you awaken. You see people in front of you. You don't know what they're doing here. You don't care. But you see that each of them are escapees, collected, meant to be collected. They are not where they are supposed to be. And then you see, from the perspective of the Draco Lich again, something hurtling towards them. A last-ditch effort, you expel the spirit within your body outwards into this field of light, shooting these people upwards. And you understand something very clearly in answer to your question. Why does the Collector care so much about what happens to Aloris? Your answer is clear as day.
Hamon's gonna look at the Collector and just kind of, in sign language, say, "I'm sorry."
There is no response.
Because that is... Figured.
But you get an answer to your question. Clear as day. Why does the Collector care so much about Aloris? As his spirit wrenches forward through the light and attempts to grab, it holds onto Rydian, burning his leg. It doesn't care about Aloris. You are collected, and yet you are not where you are supposed to be. It never cared about any of this. It just cared that you were where you're supposed to be. But you get one final piece of understanding. In your last moments of consciousness, as the flame begins to persist up and outward through your head, overtaking your mind, this is not where you die. There are other people that need to be collected, and they're at the top of that mountain. And you are going to take him to them. And we see now, as Hamon falls to the floor lifelessly, his veins instilled with blue flame. Inside his mouth there is a glowing blue glow. Possessed. He sees the mountain in the distance. The Collector stands next to him, two of his other collected beside him. And then he begins to walk towards the mountain. And that is where we will end the session for today.
So I don't have control over Hamon.
You do. I'll explain that to you off stream.
Oh, okay.
But that is the end of today. Thank you very much, Hyro. I think you were very fun to play D&D with, and this is evident. And thank everybody who came to watch over the course of the stream. We should be around next week.